The reading subtest of the Occupational English Test is designed to assess your ability to understand written English in a healthcare setting. It will be having 3 sections again, section A, section B and section C. In section A, you will see 4 different paragraphs and after that there will be like 20 questions. Let me give you an example to elaborate this section A. So like in first paragraph, you see the definition of fracture, definition of different types of fractures and definition of dislocation or sprain, like different definitions. In the paragraph B, you will see the initial management of a fracture, medical therapy, the surgical therapy or the pain relief medication you give in case of a fracture. In the paragraph C, you will see the dosage, amount of morphine you give to a patient either intramuscularly or intravenously to a patient in case of fracture. The paragraph D will be having some information regarding the application of a plaster backslap to a fractured arm or fractured leg. Like in 2 or 3 minutes, you quickly go through the 4 paragraphs and understand the correlation between the 4 paragraphs. Like the first paragraph will be having definitions of a fracture or a dislocation. Second paragraph will be having initial management of a fracture. Third paragraph will be having like the dosage of morphine, pain relief medications you give to the patient, and the fourth paragraph will be having management, the techniques of application of plaster. So when you come to the question 1 will be like in which of the 4 paragraphs mention of the dosage of morphine medication. So your mind will simply click that the paragraph C will be having the mention of morphine and the amount of drug you give intramuscularly or intravenously. In which of the 4 paragraphs there is a mention of the type of fracture. So that's the paragraph A, that's the compound or different types of fractures. Question will be like in which of the 4 paragraphs they mention about the application of a plaster of Paris. So that's the paragraph D. That way you simply mark A, B, C or D in the first 7 questions by just understanding the relationship between the 4 paragraphs and your initial comprehension of the 4 paragraphs. And when you read the question, it is your mind that will tell you that which paragraph to turn to, which paragraph has the answer to this question. You just have to put A, B, C or D in the first 7 questions. All of the other 13 questions will be like there are some questions and there is a fill in the blank. So you have to read the question and you just quickly move to one of the 4 paragraphs which you think has the answer. You read the paragraph, you find the answer and you just put the answer there. So this section A is a timed mode test that you will be having 15 minutes to answer like 20 questions. But if you understand the relationship between the 4 paragraphs, you will pick the answers very quickly and it will be a piece of cake for you. Section B of the OET reading subtest will contain like 6 paragraphs, each paragraph followed by 1 question. So there are total 6 questions in section B of the OET reading subtest. You just have to read the paragraph, read the question what they are asking and tick mark the best possible option. In section C there will be like 2 passages. Each passage will contain like 6 to 7 paragraphs and each passage will contain like 8 questions as well. So you just read the passage. The passage will be like on like sleep deprivation or ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Like the passage will be on a medical topic. When you open up the passage, like there are 7 to 8 paragraphs. The first paragraph will be like the epidemiology of the disease. The second paragraph will be like the prevalence in the community or the symptoms the patient present with having such problem. And when you come to the question, the first question will be in the same sequence. Like the first question will be on the epidemiology of the disease. The second question will be like the patient present with the symptoms. So there will be like some correlation between the passage paragraphs and the questions. So you just have to read the passage and solve the question. So this way the section C will be having like total 16 questions and you just have to answer all of those questions by reading the passage. Now there are different techniques and strategies that you need to know in different sections of the OET reading subtest to just answer the questions correctly. Starting with the section A. In section A you don't need to read all of the 4 paragraphs. It will just waste your time. You just need to read the different titles, subheadings or 1 or 2 sentences of the paragraph. You need to scan your eyes from top to bottom of the paragraph to just skim through the context of the information to have an idea what the text might be all about. Secondly, you need to understand the relationship between the text. There must be a definite logical relationship. 4 paragraphs are about a same topic and they are just different headings of the same topic. So if you get the relationship between the 4 paragraphs, it will make the whole thing easy for you. Thirdly, when you read the statement, you just need to think for a moment that at which of the 4 paragraphs the information must be. The key is you need to have an idea which text to turn to based on your initial understanding. If you can sort that thing out, like if you read the statement and your mind clicks that this information must be in those of the 4 paragraphs, then you are a winner. You just simply have to go to that paragraph and you just skim through the information and need to find the answer exactly. If somehow you don't pick that thing, like you move to a paragraph where the information is not there, then you will just waste time. Then you read the whole paragraph, you will not find the answer. Then you move to another paragraph, there you find the answer. So this thing will just waste your time. You need to avoid that thing. By following this strategy, you can easily get 19 to 20 questions correct, but you need to remember two things. The first thing is you need to write the exact word that is mentioned in the text. Any synonym of that word will not be accepted. Secondly, you need to write the exact spelling of that word. If you somehow write the incorrect spelling of that word, they will count that answer as incorrect. Section B of the reading subtest really tests your ability to find out the purpose, gist or short detail of a particular paragraph. These three things are different from one another, and being able to distinguish purpose from the main idea and the main idea from a short detail is really crucial to eliminate the wrong answers and pick out the correct answer. Let me give you an example to elaborate this concept. We have a question here in front of us that states the purpose of this email is to, and there are three possible options. Question is asking to find out the purpose of the email. If you analyze the text properly, you can break it into two parts. Except the last sentence, the rest of the information is first part because it is talking about one idea, and the last sentence is second part because it is talking about a different idea. The first part is talking about post-surgical complications and their outcomes, and the second part is talking about what action they are going to take to fix the problem. Here I have to mention a rule of thumb. Usually a passage has several paragraphs, and each paragraph must have a theme sentence. All the good writers follow this rule while writing paragraphs. All the other sentences in the paragraph talk about the theme sentence. A paragraph may start with a theme sentence followed by other sentences which elaborate that theme, or a paragraph may start with a lot of different sentences which ultimately lead to the theme sentence. It is really crucial to understand this concept here. Now let us get back to our question and see what is happening in this case. So in this case, the email is starting with several sentences which talks about post-surgical complications, and their outcome may ultimately lead to change in the practice, which is the last sentence. So that is the main point in this paragraph, and to tell all the staff the reason why they are changing the practice is the purpose of the email. Most students can easily eliminate the option C because it is beyond the scope, but they hang in between A and B. If you are not aware of the entire story about how to distinguish between the main points from the detail, you end up choosing A, which is definitely not the purpose of the email. If you know the whole story, you will end up choosing B, which is definitely the purpose of the email and the correct answer. So to summarize the technique that you need to know in section B of the reading subtest, you just need to read the question first, then you go to the paragraph and you simply try to understand the paragraph. Either they are asking about a purpose in the paragraph, or they are asking about a general idea in the paragraph, or they are asking about a minute detail in a paragraph. Then you read the possible answer options and you just pick the best possible option according to your comprehension of the differentiation between these three things. So if you simply apply this thing, you can easily get the sections correct. When you come to the section C of the reading subtest, there are again some techniques and strategies that apply here. The first technique is you simply read the question and you go to the respective paragraph and try to understand what they are asking in the question. Either they are asking about a minute detail in the paragraph, either they are asking about a general idea in the paragraph, or either they are asking about any purpose in the paragraph. So you just try to read the paragraph and try to comprehend what they are asking in the question. When you come to the answer options, in the answers there will always be one option that will not be given in the paragraph and one option that will be contradictory to the correct answer. So you can easily rule out those two options. So you are just left with two options, and you just need to read the paragraph again. You need to move to and fro between the question and the paragraph, and you just need to pick one answer out of those two options. So if you apply that framework of differentiation between the purpose, gist or the minute detail, you can easily pick that correct option, I am sure.